Hi my dears, welcome to your timeless message of the day. Let's see what we need to talk about today. Beauty ritual. Let's see. We're gonna get more cards. And these two, okay. We have also a health checkup and aromatherapy. All things, obviously this is the self-care deck, but all things that indicate that maybe you need to put some effort and invest some time into yourself. Whether this is to check up if everything is okay, having to go to a doctor, maybe something is coming up for you that you are aware of as well already. If not, maybe this is just a reminder. Beauty ritual shows me, okay, this is, making yourself feel good as well as aromatherapy, right? Using external forces to make yourself feel better. Okay. What is going on then with the collective if they are being called to take care of themselves right now? What's happening? The Hermit. You're in a point of isolation in time, a point of introspection. If that's the case, it makes sense that you found me and the work that I do here. Okay, and we have also the Nine of Swords, anxiety that keeps you up at night. And you see the despair here in this card, right? The Three of Swords in reverse and the Ace of Swords. Oh my, I saw something very specific in my mind's eye just now. Look at this. The Three of Swords, traditionally the heartbreak card, right? Traditionally you see a heart being pierced three ways. This being in reverse and it coming out with the Ace of Swords. What I saw in my mind's eye is someone taking one of these knives, right? Maybe the one that she's holding there out of the three, and turning it, taking it out of herself and fighting. Does that make sense? Like in hero movies, when there's like the main protagonist gets hit with a knife, he'll pull it out and just continue fighting as if nothing happened. But it still will need medical assistance eventually, right? In movies, they tend to always be okay. But in reality, if you get stabbed, you might be able to fight for a bit longer. But eventually, you need to go look and see what you need to do. If you need stitching, if you need some internal work done, right? Otherwise, what will happen? You can bleed out or you can get sepsis from the infection that comes from the wound, right? So you need to look after those wounds. Even if you are this strong person who's able to take out the knife that they were stabbed with and be able to still defend themselves, or be able to use that in a way. This can also indicate a new way of thinking, right? If what I just said to you, if what I just told you is kind of like a metaphor for this idea also of just changing the way you think about the situation that caused you a lot of hurt, right? The Three of Swords speaks on deep pain, right? The very first betrayal card of the swords, the first pain card of the swords. Well, I would argue actually the swords, the suit of the swords, or the suit of the mind tends to have a lot of stress. Okay, we're gonna continue. You continue. The Eight of Swords in reverse. Look, more swords. I think you're really dealing with matters of the mind right now, or you're being pulled into the mind. But the Eight of Swords is coming out in reverse. So the Eight of Swords, someone's going off. Okay. The Eight of Swords is kind of being stuck somewhere, but it's in some way a matter of you making the choice to leave, getting out of this headspace. And this coming out in reverse, I think, is indicating just that, coming out of this headspace. Or maybe okay, I placed the card on top of the Hermit and the Nine of Swords. So coming out of this headspace, but not necessarily coming out of the cave, if that makes sense, but shifting the perspective of what you're processing within said cave. With the Two of Wands in reverse, yeah, I'm feeling someone who is decided to kind of just stick to their guts right now. Stick to their guts. And the card is on top of the health card. Maybe gut issues could be coming up for you. I normally don't do very specific stuff when it comes to health. I really want you to go to professionals and make sure that you get checked up if you need that. But what I was seeing in my mind's eye just now, and with the way the words come out sometimes, I am sensing that could be some gut issues coming up. Maybe this is also a symptom. Oftentimes it is, right? Rather than the issue, it is often a symptom. Okay, so maybe let's check. What is the symptom? Whatever symptom is coming up for you, whatever you're feeling needs addressed, or you might be able to benefit from some medical help. Okay. What is the issue? Oh my gosh. A lot of stuff. I think you're just processing a lot of stuff, first of all, because we have a lot of cards. We have the Emperor in reverse. Lacking belief in yourself, lacking power, and lacking authority over your own life. The Emperor is here shown as King Arthur, taking out the sword from the stone, something that seemed impossible, making it possible. There's a necessity for you to believe in that, for you to step into that role. But with the Four of Cups here, it shows that you might be putting your energy and your attention into things that are draining you more than they are giving back to you. You are kind of pouring into a bucket with a hole. Does that make sense? And you think, but this is the best bucket I got. And it's not true. There is more buckets out there, but you do have to get out of this comfort zone that you are in to acknowledge them, to see them, to be able to introduce them into your life. The Devil here in reverse. The Devil is not a scary card. I understand it can be scary, right? But nothing is inherently scary when it comes to the Tarot. It's again a matter of perspective, right? The Devil is our connection to the humanness that we have. It is the ego. It is the personification of the ego. The things that hold us back, the comfort zones that we find ourselves in, that we repeat, and that hold us in place in a way. They're complicit in holding us stuck into where we are. When you are trying to expand, when you are trying to grow, I'm really sensing we're still, obviously, I was asking here about the issue, the underlying issue that this was a symptom of. And what I'm seeing here, it is a lack of foundation, a lack of trust in yourself. You know, you need an anchor. If you're sailing through the ocean, you want to have some sort of an anchor. Maybe the ocean is a bit too deep, but let's say a lake. You want to have a big ass lake, and you want to have some sort of an anchor so you can make sure that you are able to take a break when you need a break. For that, you need the anchor so you can continue sailing. I hope the metaphor is making sense. I don't know too much about boats. I might be completely off here. But this is what I'm sensing. You are lacking the anchor. And I'm sorry, the wind is picking up. I hope you guys are hearing me, okay? Oh, look what's behind the curtain. Behind the curtain is another card that we tend to be scared of because it means change. It means the end of something, a transition into something new. And what is behind the curtain but something new? In this part, I actually find this beautiful. I had never properly had a look at this card. Do you see how she's trying to go talk to someone, and you see in the reflection that it is death behind that? She might be expecting something else, and it is death on the other side. But it doesn't say, the card is not telling us if this is going to be a negative experience in itself. It is simply a subverted expectation. The Knight of Cups in reverse. Your emotions might be running high. You might be feeling like you are not in control of your emotions. Again, we have I said the Knight, I'm sorry, I meant the King. We have a king here, a master, the one who's trying to control the suits that he's the master of. Here it's the emotions, and there is an unbalance, there is some sort of turmoil coming up in the emotions. And this is needing to be addressed, and this turmoil that you are experiencing is now maybe coming out in a symptomatic material way, right? So you're maybe having some sort of physical ailment that has been popping up for you. The Seven of Cups in reverse. You're being called to kind of ask the questions necessary for you to be able to look through the illusion. Yeah, for you to be able to look through the illusion that the Seven of Cups often portrays. All right, we're gonna finish this reading. I don't know if you guys can tell my voice, my dudes. It is croaky today. Croaky. So we're gonna finish with a little bit Ah, look. What? You guys, we just got 2 kings out. So now we have 3 of the 4 kings. And which king is missing? Is it the King of Swords? Of course. We didn't have him, right? No. Of course, the swords, the mind, right? The thing that is kind of also calling for you to look at, where the issues might be coming up more. So we are missing that king, because that's the one that you are also having to deal with, maybe, in a way that doesn't feel as conscious to you. The King of Wands in reverse shows me, similar to the Emperor in reverse, a lack of belief in yourself, even more in this one. The Emperor is specifically the father figure of the tarot, the one who's making sure everyone is protected, everyone is taken care of. The King here is an inspiration. Here is kind of misfired energy or misplaced energy. You don't know where to put it, or it's too scattered, if that makes sense. And this comes from a lack of belief in the self. But the King of Coins is, I think, a good indication that within this controlling that you are doing, there is something materializing. There is something coming into the material world based on the work that you are doing. But you can be happy about this, and this is great, but let's take into account the 2 sides that come with the coins. If the positive is manifesting, if you're putting in a lot of hard work and you see positive things coming in, maybe your hard work is also leading to negative things, or to an overconsumption of thoughts that is now coming out in your physical, in symptoms in the body. Does that make sense? Okay, but that's going to be it, my dears. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you're ever interested in personal readings, you can find my contact in the description. And I hope to see you here again very soon. If you want to subscribe or like, it really helps the channel. And it helps with the algorithm, because we are all slaves slaves to it when it comes to reaching people. So I really appreciate your guys' interactions. Thank you guys so much, and I hope to see you very soon. Bye bye.